Hello, keen traders. It's good to start the week, finally get things going in a new month, and we already have the view of its couple maybe trend shifts. We had the JPY break out of its triangle. We had the euro making a push below 132 after consolidating that 134.50, 132 range for it seems like all of August, driving me nuts. Let's go through, take a look quickly at a couple of the majors, and then we'll go through and look at the trades or the lack of trades today. And we could see slow trading again tomorrow, but then things should pick up with Thursday with the ECB and then non-farm payroll, and volatility or volume has picked up today. So we could once again start seeing the volatility, and once again getting back into our normal swing of things. Get rid of the summer blues. Let's take a look at the Euro USD. As we all know, it's sitting right here between 134.50, 132. Bam, we get a break of that 132 level. We get a daily close below this level right now. Then we're in the new zone, and we're going to see we could see a push down between 130 and 134, and then hopefully down to 127.50. That would be the level to watch. But all we have to do, we keep our eyes on, is this hold or break above 132. Let's just say, just like the Great Britain pound with that 154.30 level, with the Euro USD, as long as the pair remains below 132, it favors a continued push down lower. And we do have the broader range between 134.50 and 127.50 to keep in mind. All right, let's take a look at the pound. Not too much to say or see here, except that the pair did break the trend line, push down to 154.30, and we're not seeing much going on. Personally, in this pair, I would just stay sidelined at the moment, and you can use the crossovers like the Great Britain odd, Great Britain New Zealand, and Great Britain JPY to make plays, and let this pair just continue to consolidate sideways before it makes its decision, which could be on Thursday with the BOE. So we'll keep an eye on that. So the Aussie USD is an interesting setup, though, similar to the USD JPY. We're having a breakout, hopefully, of a range, and this pair has been riding this trend line down lower, 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 lower. It seems like eternity, and it's because it's since last April. The pair has moved down from 105 down to a low of what, let's say 88.50, and now the pair is trying to break through this trend line. We're going to need a confirmed daily close above this. I mean, because we've had false breakouts before. I mean, look right there, and we could see that the so we'll see if we get a close roughly probably about 90.20 close above there, then we could see a trend shift, but it's really going to probably just weigh on what happens tomorrow. So keep an eye on the Aussie, because similar to the Euro, Aussie, JPY, those are the pairs we're watching. New Zealand, this guy is still just bouncing in and on down. This is lower trend line that we were looking at all week. I am not watching that anymore. I'm keeping my eyes on this trend line similar to the JPY. I mean, the Aussie. This pair has been running a trend line higher all the way since 2000, which is, we're going all the way back to 2011. So this is a multi-year trend line, and it really has some serious support here. So we're going to just watch to see if we get a break of that. That would change the momentum back down lower. You can see that the pair did move up to test the 50 fib relatively perfectly, and then continue to move down lower. So what we're going to see is just to watch the price action here. I don't have a plan of action. I'm going to let the pair tell me what to do. JPY, this is great. We finally get a break out of this triangle. This triangle had been driving me nuts. Slow trading inside. Now we're going to see what we can get. We have support at 98.50. And then we have our first target would be 100, followed by 101.50. Euro JPY still in the triangle. You can see that right there. Great Britain JPY. This is an interesting setup, but it looks like it's managed to go sneak back down below. It had a strong resistance zone between 154 and 154.60. The pair popped higher, but it looks like it's going to close back into this zone. If we get a negative wick candle there, it would be a real shorting opportunity for that pair, just the way they would set up. I mean, if we're going to just do price action, it would be very similar to this candle right here. Euro odd, you can see that's just sitting in a range between 150 and 144.20. Great Britain odd, we're going to trend line break on that pair, and it looks like it's trying to break lower. We get a close there, and then that would definitely put momentum to the downside. And our first target would be around this 168, 168.20 level. Great Britain, New Zealand, we all know about this. Between 2 and 197.50, we need to break one way or the other to get things going. And the Euro just in this channel. Now let's take a look, though, like at the trade setups that we had today, and we'll take a gander at why we didn't, or we did go into any trades. Well, actually today, why we didn't go into any of the trades that were available. Let me just open up. This is the excuse me. I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 monitors going while I trade, and I have this screen as my default, and that's how I get in between the different currency pairs. All right, let's start out with the Great Britain, New Zealand, just because it's the first one that happened to come up. When I woke up this morning at 4, it pretty much looked like we were going to get into a trade in this pair. And we had this 430 break higher, and it could have definitely gone in there, but that's not what I was looking at. Of course, we were looking at this high right here that happened because it's just too convenient, too close, and we never really had a break out of that because we had the wicks and everything, and then we had the fall back down today in trading. Now the pair is breaking that, testing that high that we had in early European trading, but it's way too late to jump into a trade now at 12:10. But you know, in the future, we could start being able to take trades later once we get a little bit of volatility. Normally, I would stay and take trades all the way up to 2 o'clock Eastern time. So basically, between 4 and 4 a.m. Eastern time to about 2 o'clock, and then right out to the New York close. It's just because we've been slow summer trading that I haven't been doing that. So things could be picking up relatively soon, but I want to see definitely confirmation of a return to volatility. So you can see we didn't take that trade just because we never technically had the breakout, and we didn't have the indicators pointing in the right direction. The Euro New Zealand, let's jump that down to a 15-minute. The Euro New Zealand, you can see that this pair, it's pretty much the same thing. We came up test around 845 and then quickly back down. And it was interesting that we had that false missile report out of the heading towards Syria today. That really just made everything jump the gun here. Like we had, I guess it was the JPY pairs. This pretty much looked like a 430. We were going to jump into this pair. Luckily, we had this candle just because that news just rocked us out of it. And this candle, so we passed on it, passed on the trade. I would have been very disappointed if I had jumped in the trade there. And then you had that data come out. News sucks when it doesn't go in your way. Let's put it that way. But there's really nothing you can do about it. That's just a risk that you have to embed, and you win some, you lose some on events like that. Anyway, so you can see in this pair, that's obviously you're not going to enter on a trend, a wick like that. I mean, that's about as bullish as bearish as it gets in a bullish scenario. So it passed on that trade, and then we consolidated for the rest of the day. Great Britain, Euro, JPY, same thing. We had that pushback down low, and the reason I didn't jump into that trade, well, you can see the wick came out, but I wouldn't have anyways, because we were trading on. The news was a rumor that missiles had been launched by some Russian agency, and then it turns out they were not launched. And then if you ask me, actually, there probably is going to be no action in the near term in Syria because there is a summit coming up. I think it's the G20 in Moscow. The last thing Obama wants to be there right after or during a confrontation with Syria, where Russia is basically favoring the other side. It doesn't have much support in America. I think we're kind of tired of fighting wars all around the world, and I don't think it's going to pass through the Congress. But we will see. If it does, it does, and then we'll. If something does happen, we'll have to follow the action in the currencies. But most likely, whatever initial reaction occurs, you can probably fade that move. Euro JPY, you can see we're just consolidating that. And what do we have left? The New Zealand's, I don't remember if we did New Zealand. No, the Euro, the Aussie pairs, the Great Britain Oz. We had that breakdown right here at 10 o'clock. And the ATR had already been run out in those pairs, and in both pairs, and I didn't think there was going to be any much follow through, and there wasn't. In both those trades, we would probably be back. We'd be back right at break even now. All right, everybody. Good luck trading. Hopefully, we can get some trades going on tomorrow and get things going. I will see everybody in the AM unless I see something spectacular set up, and I'll tweet it out to you guys today. Talk to you later.